be glad and your spirits be light. As what the Bible says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And now is the time for an apostolic wedding. Friends and family of our bride and groom, relatives and churchmates, welcome and thank you for being here today. We are gathered together to celebrate the very special love between our bride and groom and joining them now in marriage. Today is a celebration of love, of commitment, of friendship, of family, and of two individuals who are in it to forever. With this, let us all witness the union of these two hearts as we start our processional bridal entourage that will be led by our officiating minister, Reverend Dowie Changa. Reverend Dowie Changa is the residing pastor of UPC the Open Church and currently the Northwestern Luzon District Section 5 Presbytery. Next to him are, of course, the ever-supportive parents of our groom, Mr. Benelda and Mrs. Rubina, together with the most handsome man today. Alam kong ito ang araw na pinakahihintay niya. Our groom, Mr. Jeziel John Williamina. Palakpak naman dyan! Next on the aisle would be our best man and maid of honor today. We have Mr. Jairo Mark Miliamina and Miss Lenny Alvarillo. We also have Pastor Joseph Inakay and Ma'am Leilani Inakay. Next on the aisle, we have Pastor Sherwin Ancheta and Pastora Charity Ancheta. We also have Sir Archimedes Austrin, Dr. Jennifer Santos, Sir Reynaldo Cacho, and Ma'am Geraldine Cacho, Mr. Zaldi Alvarillo and Mrs. Veronica Alvarillo, Mr. Kaabay, Mr. Onofre de Vera and Mrs. Teresita de Vera, Mr. Cirilio Kaabay and Mrs. Rogelina Kaabay, Mr. Roland Cando and Mrs. Griselda de Guzman. We also have Salvador Tirado and Mrs. Perlita Marcos, Mr. Jovi Costales and Mrs. Myra Costales, Mr. Alberto Sendayan and Mrs. Teresita Inakay, Mr. Leocadio Molina and Mrs. Molina Clementero, Mr. Narciso Tabua and Mrs. Emma Nabua, Mr. Willie Banaco and Mrs. Marites Besas. We also have Mr. Jesse Nevadas and Mrs. Geneva Nevates, Mr. Antonio Bonzo and Mrs. Liberty Bonzo. We have Mr. Freddy Alvarillo and Mrs. Julie Alvarillo, Mr. Henry Alvarillo and Mrs. Velma Alvarillo, Mr. Ramir Sampaga and Mrs. Nina Sampaga, Mr. Joseph Ventura and Mrs. Cecil Ventura, Mr. Freddy Kaasi and Mrs. Gemma Kaasi, and Mr. Jerry Caracas and Mrs. Tina Louise Williams. And now here comes our secondary sponsors. To light their path, we have our candle sponsors, Mr. Aljon Ray Kaabay and Miss Paula Rose Mendoza. Keep those smiles in their faces. To close them as one, we have our veil sponsors, Mr. John Marie Castillo and Miss Daniel Faith Costales. To bind them together, we have our cord sponsors, Pastor Ken Justin Naranjo and Miss Dr. Annette Sponsor. Here comes our groomsmen and bridesmaids. We have Mr. Vincent Kyle Inakay and Miss Heidi Badin, Mr. Harry Salagkok and Miss Jubilee Williamina. We also have Mr. Glenmore Castillo and Miss Yun Amru. Next, we have Mr. Jerome Ablao and Miss Joanne Carolina. We also have Mr. Adolfo Terrado and Miss Daniel Lake Lesses. Looking to the aisle as we witness the marching of the cutest multi-entourage, we have our Bible, rain coin bearers plus our flower girls. Carrying the Bible, we have Gavin Rich Inakay. Palakpak naman dyan para sa ating mga kids. Carrying the rain, we have Liam Ethan Kaabay. And carrying the coin, we have John Nico Alvarillo. There you go. Next would be our lovely flower girls. We have Zariel Sams Ancheta, Zaira Ancheta, and Moria Morta Samote. Let's give them a warm round of applause. The cutest among the cute people will not be completed without our little groom, Kenji Feliz de Guzman, and our little bride, Sophia Joy Inakay. Palakpakan naman sila. Ladies and gentlemen, next to walk on the aisle are the supportive and lovely parents of our beautiful bride. The parents of the bride, Mr. Benedict Alvarillo and Mrs. Maria Lida Alvarillo. And right now, the moment we all have been waiting for, may I ask everyone to please rise? The moment we all have been waiting for. She is loved, she is blessed, and now she found the one whom her soul loveth, her partner and her lifetime. This time, all eyes on the aisle please, and let us witness her final walk as Miss Alvarillo. Friends, churchmates, ladies and gentlemen, our gorgeous apostolic bride, Miss Benelda Grace Alvarillo. Let's give her a warm round of applause.
He knows it's you I pray for. He knows it's you I pray with. He knows you are my armor, my protector, my relief. He knows you are the music when silence brings me down. He knows you are the perfect fit for the soul behind this gown. And as I walk down the aisle, I couldn't help but smile and cry, 'cause he knows just what I needed in this life. All we know is he knows, and we follow his direction. Even though life is short, we should remember in salvation. Through this life, when we go, he will let his will be done. 'Cause he knows that I am yours, and you are mine. He knows you are my power when I'm feeling weak and sick. He knows you are my harbor hope. It's just within arm's reach. He knows us even better than we ever know ourselves. He knows that we have differences, but he pulls us back in place. When the roads we take get rough, he knows that we can steer them back, and he's ever there to help us steer it back. All we know is he knows when we follow his direction. Even though life is short, we should remember in salvation. This life, when we run, he will let his will be done. 'Cause he knows that I am yours, and you are mine. We have made some mistakes, but it's there to tidy up our mess. We are blessed by his embrace. We serve together through his grace. And I know, and you know, and he knows that it shows. And we pray our love instead of lies. 'Cause he knows that only you can see me through. And because of this, I give you mine. I do.
We will now witness, that's indeed a very beautiful song from our bride, and we are now witnessing the final walk together with her parents.
Sabi niya na. Si Mama, hindi ako maglaban. Hindi ako magsisi. Ayun. Dito lang.
In everything and in every